made them, and a wide array of interesting facts in general. It's freeform radio at its finest. Hear what you rarely hear anywhere else here on Radio Free Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Saturday on KSJE.
Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning. It is the 23rd day of September, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Micklin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE, 90.9 FM over the airwaves here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we're broadcasting at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to my voice from anywhere else on the planet, you've gone to our website to tune in, ksje.com, or maybe you're listening to me through the new KSJE app. It's great to have you here, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Also, welcome to our viewers who are joining us. The video of this program is streaming out live right now to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. Glad that you are here because this morning we are talking about one of my favorite events of the fall, the Aztec Highland Games and Celtic Festival. It is coming up in just a little over a week in Aztec. We'll share all the details with you coming up this morning on KSJE, so stay tuned for that. Later on this hour, then at 8:50 a.m., it's Tuesday, of course, so we'll check in with Amber Francisco, Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. She'll be telling us about some of the pets available for adoption this week, including that good-looking dog you can see on the screen right there. That's Maximus. We'll hear more about him coming up today, 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. That makes way for the next hour's program, Roving with the Arts. Our classical music program with Mick Hess gets underway right after the news at 9:06. There's the KSJE radio app that's now available on the App Store and Google Play. You can stay connected to us on the go. Podcasts are right there. Also ways to listen live and more, so check it out and stay connected. Outside our studios this morning at KSJE at San Juan College, it is currently 49 degrees at the moment. We are expecting, that's not an updated forecast. That's probably last week's forecast because that's a lot warmer than it's going to be. It's going to be sunny today, but not 83. How about 70 degrees instead? And overnight lows in the mid-40s for today. Tomorrow will be a little bit warmer, but still in the lower 70s. Continued sunshine and then maybe some showers developing, about 50% chance of showers on Friday and Saturday with highs still in the mid to lower 70s. I'll be back with my guest talking about the Aztec Highland Games and Celtic Festival right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. The Four Corners Balloon Rally returns to Farmington September 26th through the 28th. If you can't make it in person, let KSJE take you there with our KSJE On the Road program on Facebook. Each morning, KSJE will be streaming video of the Mass Ascension, Friday from Lake Farmington and Saturday and Sunday from the Animas Valley Ball. Also on Friday, join us from San Juan College for the Balloon Glow from 6 to 9 p.m. KSJE On the Road, taking you to great community events.
Now back to Studio A and the award-winning Scott Micklin morning program on KSJE.
My guest this morning, as I mentioned, to talk about the Aztec Highland Games and Celtic Festival coming up in a little over a week, as I mentioned. Charles Thacker is here, treasurer of the Aztec Highland Games Association. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
As I said, this is one of my favorite events of the fall. It's a great opportunity to get together with the folks and celebrate all things Celtic and Highland Games and watch some great competitors, of which you are one, and you very graciously invite me back every year to MC, and so I appreciate that as well.
We love having you.
And thank you, and letting the audience know of my involvement as well. But we're back again for the 15th year.
Yes.
How about that?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. You've been part of this for 14 years, you were telling me, right?
Yeah, I got to see the first one, and I saw a little bit of the events going on, and I thought I need to go out and try that, and that was hooked.
You were hooked.
That was it.
And so you're not only a board member, but you're also a competitor
Yep.
in the Highland Games. You compete in every event.
That's correct.
Do you have a favorite?
I do have a favorite. The caber toss, which is kind of an iconic event where someone is throwing what looks like basically a telephone pole or a tree. That is one of my favorite events. It's a lot of fun. It's enjoyable. It's one of the events that is not judged based on height or distance as the other events are, which are kind of track and field concepts. It's a little bit more about accuracy, which means it's pretty subjective.
Right. True.
The judge behind you.
Yeah, very true. But one of those really traditional events, right?
Very traditional, yeah.
And it seems a lot of the games at the Highland Games are throwing heavy things.
That's basically what it is. When people ask, what do you do? I throw heavy things.
Yeah, so that's part of it. But the games are coming up. We should mention again, October 4th and 5th, again, a week from this weekend.
Yes,
basically.
Coming up very soon.
Riverside Park in Aztec again. Of course, the website, aztechhighlandgames.com. Lots going on with the athletic competition, but also you've got vendors there, you've got music there. That's always a big part of the event, too.
It is. We have several bands coming in.
Right.
I think there's some great ones that people are really going to enjoy. They play on Saturday and Sunday pretty much all day. We have sets rotating through the stage. We have dancers coming in, some Irish dancers. We have a lot of food vendors coming in, and there are a lot of other vendors who are selling things that are, falling into that Celtic realm,
right?
The Scottish realm, some handmade stuff. Really a great environment, and it's at a beautiful spot. The park in Aztec is gorgeous. The weather is normally pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's very enjoyable.
Very true.
Really would like to see people come out.
Yeah, always a great time, and I think a lot of people do come out, and I think it's been growing every year, at least from what I have seen.
Yes, it has.
And so that's great to see, too. You mentioned the bands. I wanted to show them a little bit here. There's a few. I think folks will know maybe a lot of these bands if they follow them. If they don't, they can come out and enjoy some great live music, which is always a treat.
Please do, absolutely.
Right, but we've got the Bowmaneers coming back, Patrick Crossing, of course, Tom Ward's Downfall, and again, they've been there in the past and are coming back.
Yep.
So that's always been great, and let's scroll to the other ones. These are all from the website, by the way, everybody, as we go through. You mentioned the dance competition as well. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but let's scroll down to the other ones here. Truckley Howe, Desert Highlanders, and Badly Bent will be back again this year as well. And then I think we have the final two on the list as we scroll down to that. It's coming. The Robin Davis Duo and Gagarene, which I always mangle, but try to do pretty good.
It's difficult. I'll tell you what. Trying
How
to get
would
some
you
of the
say
Scottish pronunciations, that was very close to what I would say.
Okay.
Whether it's correct or not, I can't guarantee.
Okay. Well, we're trying, but they'll be back as well, which is great. The dance competition too, I think, is another big draw as well for this event, right?
It is. We have judges that come in, we have dancers and competitors that come in, a dedicated stage for them to be on, and it's a lot of fun to watch. Very impressive. The skill that people are displaying out there.
Yeah, very much so. And all these things are going on almost simultaneously in the park.
They do.
Which is why the park is such a great location, because you can have 4 different areas of activity throughout the park with the competition there kind of in the middle of it all.
You can wander around at your food and drink. You can watch multiple things at any given time.
Right.
There's always something going on. There's not a lot of dead time where you're just kind of wondering what to do.
Right.
I think it's great for the entire family. It's very kid-friendly, very family-oriented.
Right.
So it's wonderful to see people come out and enjoy it that way.
Very true. You mentioned no dead time, and that's really true, because even during the bands, in between the bands, the pipe bands come up and perform in front of the stage as they're prepping for the next band to be on the stage.
Yeah, we will have pipers there again. So if you like bagpipe music and bands, come out. If you've never heard them, come out. If you don't like them, I still want you to come out.
Right.
Just don't hang out by them, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. But they're only around for a little bit in between the bands and such, and it's always great to see them play and to see the opening ceremonies when we all march in together. And the Mass Pipe Band is a great opportunity to see them and hear them, and just how they play those instruments and how strong those lungs are is beyond me.
It's very impressive what they do.
There definitely is a lot of talent there for sure. We're showing a QR code on the screen right now that will take you to the website for tickets. Yes. We were talking earlier that the tickets are available. You can get a 2-day pass, I think, for $20 still?
2-day, and you can also get a 1-day pass.
1-day passes are $15. There's discounts for, I think, students or younger teens and seniors on the website as well. You can buy them at the door if you don't want to mess with the website.
You can buy them in advance on the website, or you can show up at the gate, and we'll take your payment there.
There you go. So you make it pretty easy.
We try to.
Yeah.
We don't want to put any kind of barriers to coming out and enjoying it.
Exactly. There'll be food again?
There will be food.
Okay. Do we know?
We have a variety of vendors coming out, and so you'll have some that are kind of like locally
nice,
kind of geared a little bit more towards some of the local flavors, but we try to also make sure that we get some Scottish flavors in there, so some meat pie vendors, things like that, which are great and wonderful to enjoy.
Yeah, very true. And we're showing more of the pictures again of some of the sites that you see at the Highland Games. Again, there's a lot going on. I want to talk to you about the competition because I know you are a competitor, and so there's all that. Pardon me, and also the call for volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
We love volunteers.
Still, right? Still could use some extra help?
We can use extra help all the time. So if you are interested in volunteering, on the website is an option for you to look at the volunteer form, be able to complete that. There are some options for the types of volunteering that you can do, what you kind of get in return. But really, the volunteers help us make this happen. So we love having volunteers out.
Right, very true. And I imagine folks could volunteer for 1 day, both days.
Yes, and you
make it pretty flexible.
Yeah, you get to be able to attend as well. Depending if you're able to volunteer enough. Yeah.
Right, very true. So check that out at the AztecHighlandGames.com. You can check that out and sign up and come and help. There are some other shots from past Highland Games as well, and so the competition's open to men and women.
Absolutely, it's open to anyone, and there are open classes where pretty much anybody can compete, and then they also break them down by age and weight.
Right.
So I am in the old category already.
Oh, if you say so, Charles.
I do.
But okay. But there's also an opportunity for novices, I guess, to just go out there and try their hand at throwing heavy things, as we say.
We love to have newcomers come out. And you don't have to practice ahead of time. You don't really have to know much of what you're doing. And that's the thing that I really love about all of these games. You can show up the day of in the morning and say, I would like to try this out and be able to compete. You do have to wear a kilt.
Okay.
That's one of the requirements for competing. And if
but
you
you're
don't
selling
have
them
a kilt,
just,
number one, there are vendors that sell them. And number two, we also have some that we can rent for the day for athletes if they would like to. But you can show up prior to the competition starting. You can sign up. You can watch one day and then decide to sign up the next day. And we have people who have never thrown before that come out and do that.
Right.
And the thing that I love about this environment with the athletes is you can have someone who is very inexperienced throwing out there with a group of people who are experienced and in fact, world record holders. We have world record holders that come and compete in Aztec.
Right.
And they are just so down to earth and polite and kind. And I have seen people who are true professionals and very, very good at what they do and have world records give just a little bit of advice to somebody who's just starting off, and very polite, very pleasant, not a lot of ego involved.
Right.
And that's really nice to see.
That's what I've seen too, I think, over the years, is the athletes will kind of rally around someone or newcomers, and if they won, that's great, but they also encourage the other competitors who are there too, and it seems like kind of almost like a family of folks that are out there on the field during these events.
It is. It's very much like a family, and it's also a bit of an individual competition, even though you are there and you're with a group of people, and so you are competing against this group that is in your class. Really, you're competing against yourself.
Right.
How did I do last time? How do I think I can do? And you're really looking to try and get, your own personal records, right? Get some PRs out there and throw the best that you can. And everybody celebrates your success. No matter how you did within the group, everybody's celebrating your success and how you're feeling about it.
Right.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah, very true. You mentioned something I wanted to go back to as well, that the fact that we have some world record holders coming to compete in Aztec, I think folks might be thinking like, wow, that's amazing that we have that. It's either a local person or regional person, or they're coming to compete just for this opportunity.
We have people coming from Albuquerque pretty regularly. We have a large contingent coming from Albuquerque, people coming from Colorado. The four corner states often make a representation. We have people who come from even further distances, and again, many of them have held world records, at one point in time. Now, world records are fun in the Highland Games because they can actually be broken like back to back almost, as you would see in track and field events. So someone might get a world record, and then the next weekend, someone else somewhere else has broken that by just a little bit.
Right.
And so it's this back and forth battle and competition, which is also a lot of fun.
Yeah, very cool and really great. And again, there's not many opportunities, I guess, to compete in a sanctioned kind of competition, I guess, right? And so that's what makes folks maybe want to come to this event too, to be able to compete and see how they're doing, their personal best and things like that.
Yeah, they do. And all the scores do go into national systems
Right.
so that they can count for people's rankings and help them get to world championships. But what I hear about the most of people who compete in this area, and I'm thinking the greater New Mexico and Colorado sections, is actually the venue. Like coming out, they really, really enjoy the venue. The park is beautiful. There's shade, number one. Sometimes you're competing and there's no shade at all. But it's a nice green field. It's open. People are lovely there. It's a wonderful experience, and people really do like that venue. And many of them count it as among their absolute favorite venue to compete in.
Nice.
So I love seeing when people can come out and see the athletes and the competitors, the dancers, the bands, all in an environment where they really enjoy being there and performing their best.
Nice, very true. And for you, when you compete, do you compete in other Highland Games around the region, or do you just compete in Aztec?
I do. No, I don't just compete in Aztec. In fact, my wife, Christy Winfrey, and I actually travel to Norway once a year, and we do a competition out there as well. We've been to Canada. We've been to different states within the United States. And we have a long list of games we'd like to get to. Of course, life gets in the way. So
Right.
we have a lot of things going on.
But you plan your trips around competitions, I guess?
Yeah, that becomes the way that we look at it, is where can we go where there's a games and we can compete and have some fun, and then also have a little bit of a vacation.
Nice.
And a lot of people end up doing that. So one of our goals might be just, that becomes our travel plans for each year, is just what games can we go to, and that's how we're going to move around.
Sure. Well, and I guess being on the committee now, too, as you plan this year's games in Aztec, have you brought anything that you've seen at other games back to the event this year?
We've brought a few things that we've seen, but we've also come up with some that I think people just naturally decided were a good idea. Like we do kids games. So that's one thing I think is a lot of fun, is during the middle of the day, when the competitions are kind of breaking a little bit so athletes can go and have some lunch, we have a little kids games, and the kids can come out and they can throw. We do water balloon ones. We do a caber toss, which is more of a cardboard tube,
Right.
So it's not dangerous to anyone.
Right.
And they get to throw things, and they get the announcer calling them out, and really celebrating their throws and what they're doing. Always have a line of kids waiting to do that, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, very true. Well, that's great. And I know people look forward to that. Again, Riverside Park is a great spot. There's some playground equipment right there as well for the kids to hang out on as well, while mom and dad are there at the games and showing and just being able to do all those different things right in that area, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And one of the things I can't commit that we're going to have it.
Okay.
I hesitate to say it.
All right.
Some of the board members may be saying, don't commit it yet, but we might have a Highland coo coming, a Highland cow.
Really?
Yeah, with the really long horns
right.
and hair that comes down, and it. So we're hoping to secure that for this year.
Okay, all right, very good. We'll hold you to that maybe,
Yeah,
but we'll have to see what shows up.
Commitment,
right? But that's very, very cool. But there's lots of stuff that's going on, as you mentioned. You mentioned the caber toss. There's a couple other here on the screen that I wanted to show. One is the sheath toss.
The sheaf toss,
I
yep.
believe.
Yep.
And so, talk to me about that event.
Sure, it's not a sheep.
Not a sheep, no.
Not a sheep like ba ba ba.
Right.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
So this is a sheaf toss, SHEAF, and it is a burlap sack that is filled with twine to weigh a certain amount. And so all of the implements have a certain weight to them that everybody throws the same thing. So you use a pitchfork, you stab into this bag, and you throw it up and over a bar that is up above your head. This is pretty much an American thing. This is not really a Scottish event.
Oh, okay.
And so if you go to other games and other places, you may not have the sheaf event as an option.
Okay.
It was kind of an American introduction to the games.
Okay.
But it is a lot of fun, and it is one of the draws. So there are a couple of draws that people really like. The sheaf and the caber are pretty much those two events that I think people really want to come out and watch, and they will sit and watch for quite a while.
Yeah, I would think so. Well, again, it's great to kind of see it. Again, it's kind of almost like a high jump if you would think about that with the sheaf and trying to get that, but then they raise the bar in between every time to see how high they can get it, which
you have
is
3 attempts at every height, and you just go until you cannot go anymore, and the last one up is that they're the first place winner.
There you go.
So we have the weight of a bar event, which is very similar to that as far as you're trying to throw a weight over a bar with
Right.
one hand. So then that weight will vary vary depending on your class and what you're competing in. But for example, I throw a 42-pound weight. Other men would throw a 56-pound weight, and you're throwing it straight up over your head, trying to get over the bar.
Like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Like you do it every day.
Sometimes it feels like a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And we have a hammer throw,
right?
Which is a little bit different than the Olympic hammer throw. It's not a weight on the end of a chain where you spin. Your feet are actually planted, and the weight is at the end of a 4-foot handle. You spin that around your head and throw it behind you. And weight for distance was a weight at the end of a chain. You throw that as far as you can. And then the stone put, which is kind of like a shot put. So you're taking a stone and you are pushing it out as far as you possibly can.
Yeah. Throwing heavy things.
Yes.
That's the thing.
That's basically it. You're throwing heavy things either far or high.
Yeah, very true. And all these events, except for apparently the Sheaf, have their kind of origins in history, right?
Scotland, absolutely. And if you want to hear more about that, here's what I recommend: is number one, come out.
Yeah, sure.
And see them. But we're very fortunate to be able to secure Francis Brebner.
Yeah.
The Scottish, he's a world champion.
I could listen to him talk all
forever,
day.
Right?
Yeah,
His accent is wonderful and lovely. And he is so knowledgeable about the games. And he will share everything he possibly can about it. So he will tell you all about every single event. He does that all day long. He loves it. He loves interacting with people that are there. And if you like hearing a Scottish brogue, that is a legit one right there from a true world champion Highland game athlete.
No kidding. And he knows his athletes, I think. He knows the events, as you say. He knows the scores as they come in to be able to let you know what to watch for maybe in the next round and things like that. It's great to have him back. I'm so glad that he's going to be back again this year to talk about these. But a lot of these events, I mean, I can only imagine a bunch of Scots hanging around saying, hold my beer, or watch this, or you think you can throw it this high? Let me try it.
That's how I feel, Scott. Francis will tell you, it has this origin in this and this origin in that. And I think most of these are just bar bets. I think this is somebody who's just saying, hey, I threw this thing that we used to hold horses in place out there with their reins. I threw this so far out there. And someone else says, I could throw it further than that. And then suddenly they say, let's build a festival around this. Right?
Yeah, right.
And so, and I think that's the other thing, that most of these festivals really are about, communities where your life was hard. You're working hard, right? You're working to survive. You're growing food. You are making clothing. You're doing all these things. You have to have fun. You have to have enjoyment. And so they have festivals for that purpose. And that's basically what this is, right? Is feats of strength, competition, music, food. Come out, have a lot of fun, because we all work hard. Life is not easy, and this is a weekend where you can come out and you can kind of let some of that go, and you can just have some fun.
Exactly. I'm glad to hear you describe it that way. I agree completely. It's a great thing. And just, again, I think something for everyone as we talk about this, right? The athletic competition is there. The music is there. The kids' games are there. All the vendors are there as well. There's always something to be able to do and wander through the field and just cheer on these great athletes and check out the rest of the things that are going on. Besides the competition, do you have a favorite part of the games, of the festival?
It depends on where I'm at. In some places, they've got some food that I would love. I really enjoy digging into, but I have to wait until I'm done throwing, so that I'm not throwing the wrong thing on the field.
Gotcha. Would that include haggis or not so much?
You know what? I do enjoy haggis.
Do you?
Yes. And I heard someone say to me once that, one of the best ways to have haggis is you spread it on a little bit of pepperoni pizza, and you have it. And I tried that, and I'm telling you, it was amazing.
Really?
It was really good.
That I have not heard.
There's your cross-cultural opportunity right there.
That is true.
But I do enjoy haggis.
Okay, all right, very good. But there's some other parts too that you like as well.
Oh, absolutely. The music. I love hearing the pipes, and I love hearing those play while we are doing this. And of course, the pipes are traditionally they're an instrument that was kind of war bound, right? And to be able to get people's to get their energy up, right? And to make things
little patriotic kind of thing, right?
Yeah, drive people up. And I feel that, like when they're playing, I feel that. And so that's really enjoyable. The pipes and the drums playing is awesome. I love hearing all the other music happen, especially while I'm competing, so that there's something else going on. It's not just this, quietness out there. But the thing that I really think I enjoy the most is the people who come to watch and just really cheer, and they just really enjoy seeing what's happening, and they holler about it, and they clap, and they scream, and that makes it all very worthwhile to be out there, potentially hurting your body a little bit, and
hopefully not, but I understand.
We're getting older now, Scott. So
right. Just getting off this chair might hurt my body, so I hear what you're saying.
5 minutes to get out of here.
That's right. That's true. But it's for all ages, really, right? Yes, and so you're in one class, but there are other classes. How many classes of athletes are there?
We're going to have,
I put you on the spot
about
again.
12. No, I think we're going to have probably about 12 different classes that are going to be running in different flights on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
And so they get broken up. And as long as you are, I think what we try to start the juniors at is about 14.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're 14 or older,
Okay.
you basically have a spot. And,
Cool.
and you can come in, and this is not something where you have to, you don't have to make any particular scores to get in. It's just open for anyone who would like to sign up.
If you want to try it,
Absolutely.
you'll make a spot for them.
Absolutely.
Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And you can
And I
sign
don't
up.
think we have any classes that are totally packed full.
Okay.
Obviously, the sooner people get in, the more likely that the class they might want to get into is open.
Right.
But it's very likely that, especially if you're a newcomer, we're going to have some openings in novice classes.
Good to know. We're putting up the QR code again and the address of the AztecHighlandGames.com if you'd like to sign up or take a look and just see what's open, what's available, and you can definitely sign up for either day,
Yes, you can.
Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, depending on the class. So
Okay.
if you're signing up for the class, then that's going to dictate what day you're going to be throwing on.
Fair, got it. And both men and women
Yep.
can compete as well, and so it's a great opportunity. Or just show up and enjoy and watch as you did, and then get involved.
Absolutely.
Because that happened to you.
That's exactly what
15
happened.
years ago.
I went. That's what it feels like. I went to a practice because we have practice in Aztec pretty much every Sunday. We try to have it every Sunday in Aztec in the morning, depending on what time of year it is.
Sure.
And I went to one of those practices after the first Highland Games that they had here, the inaugural ones, and I did a hammer throw. That was the first thing that I did. And
Right.
right after I threw that, I thought, "Yep, this is it. This is fun.
That was it.
I'm going to do this." And my wife got involved in very much the same way, right, later on. And we met later. And now she competes as well, has been to world championships. And so it's just a lot of fun. There's so much opportunity that can happen. It can be something where you just do it every once in a while and you just have fun and you don't make it a full-time job by any stretch. We certainly don't. But it's something that you can also focus on and kind of help keep your energy going, work on your health.
Sure.
We do weightlifting to try and train, things like that. We kind of stay away from cardio, but, we try to make sure that we are keeping ourselves healthy just so that we can do this, because this is a fun hobby and it's something enjoyable to do.
Right, very true. What is her favorite event, or what's her event of choice, I guess,
She
when
really
she
likes
competes?
the hammer. Yeah, she really likes the hammer throw. I think she likes caber as well.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of people who really kind of like the caber. It's tricky to start off. It's very difficult to get the idea of being able to pick up that pole and keep it balanced straight up above you.
Right.
But once you do that, I think a lot of people really do enjoy that event. But hers, I think she's going to always say the hammer is her favorite.
Got you. And with the caber throw, can you give us a little bit of strategy about that? Because there's different sizes of caber, right? Is that dependent on where you are in the competition, I guess?
It depends on a couple of things. Yeah, it depends on the group that you're in. If you're in a men's group and it's the younger men, then it's going to probably be a taller and heavier caber. If you're in an older person's group, the masters is what we like to refer to ourselves as.
That sounds like a nice term.
Exactly.
I like that
I know,
term.
it's much better than I'm old. No, you're a master.
The senior, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
got it.
the masters get, a little bit lighter weight, maybe a little bit shorter
Right.
caber. And it all the way down to novice, right? To
Sure.
the very small ones. But the cabers that I would throw tend to be somewhere in the range of, 13 feet, give or take, and about 80 to 100 pounds.
You say that like it's nothing. You say that like it's nothing.
Well,
but
if you're thinking about just lifting weight, it doesn't sound like much, but what you're doing is you're taking that pole and it's being stood up in front of you, and then you
vertically
are trying to work, standing straight up with the heavy part at the top. So you generally have a taper. They
I
get
see.
thinner towards the bottom, so your hands can get around it. And that taper is very important because all of these are physics. Every single event is physics. And if you can understand the physics, then you can really do some throwing that's really nice, and then you add your strength to it, and that's what makes it a little extra.
Right.
But with the caber, you work your way down, you try to pick that caber straight up and put your hands under it and then balance it in your shoulder. So much like people, and I know when I was a kid, you put a broom in your hand, right? And the heavy part at the top, the broom part at the top,
Right.
the handle in your hand, and you can balance it like
Sure.
that. And you just move around. And that's what you do with the caber, is you're actually moving your entire body around to keep it balanced while the heavy end is up. And you take a few steps, and then you, in essence, just kind of squat down a little bit and then drive back up, and you toss the caber so that it rotates. The whole idea is to get the caber to rotate end over end and to land on an imaginary clock face so that it's pointing straight away from you when you're done. And that's called a perfect 12, if you can throw that. Anything off to the side is then gauged and judged based on the clock face.
Sure.
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, etc.
Gotcha. And that's how scoring works.
That's how scoring works for the caber.
From that, once it flips, it has to
Doesn't
flip.
matter how high it went, doesn't matter how far it went. It's when you turn it, meaning that you got it to get the heavy end went down and hit the ground, and then the light end went up and over and spun all the way over, then that's a scoring turn.
Right.
And then we'll see what lands on the clock face.
Gotcha. That's how it works. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to me. And so it's great. And it's so great to hear your thoughts about it as a competitor, to explain it to the rest of us when we go and just enjoy the stuff that the competitors do and throwing these things and just seeing the science behind it, the physics, as you mentioned, to kind of understand it.
We encourage exactly what you're doing, is asking me questions. We love, I say everybody, like we, but there's a few athletes who don't like talking very much. But for the most part, you can pretty much ask any athlete, like, what are you doing? How does this work? How does this get scored?
Sure.
What is this event? We love talking about it. We love explaining it. And if there is time, we let you like hold an implement, handle it. We can't really let you have it throw it unless you like signed a waiver and all that stuff during the games. But that's where practices come in. Like, you can come to a practice and you can throw implements all day long if you'd like with us.
See? There you go. So that's how you do it. But I think, as you said, the group, I think the athletes are so friendly, and it's such a camaraderie type of a group, when you're together, that if someone comes up and asks you, if someone doesn't want to answer the question, somebody next to them probably will. And so it's a very welcoming group, is what I have found.
Yes, it absolutely is.
So that's wonderful. Well, Charles, we're just about out of time, I'm sorry to say, but
well, it's been a pleasure.
I appreciate you coming in and talking about the Aztec Highland Games and Celtic Festival coming up again, as we mentioned, October 4th and 5th. Tickets are available online, aztechhighlandgames.com. About $20 for the 2-day pass,
right.
$15 to come on Saturday,
Yep.
and cheaper for teens and seniors
Yep.
as well. And kids, younger kids are free. I forget what the cutoff is. Is it 12, under 12? Maybe?
I never fit that cutoff. I keep trying.
Me neither.
They don't let me in.
I understand. I hear you. Very good. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Scott.
You bet. Aztec Highland Games and Celtic Festival coming up next weekend here in Aztec at Riverside Park.
Tech's golden opportunity.